Welcome to the show. As you know, the moniker of Motoring TV is stories about cars and the people who drive them. And over the last season, we've had plenty of guest reviewers driving all different kinds of models. Well, on this week's show, we have two families. We have Drew, Magda, and baby Nora here in Barrie, Ontario. They have a brand new baby and they're going to test drive 3 different vehicles. It's our second family, the Corolla family. There's the sedan, the hatchback, and the hybrid. Let's meet that family first. The Toyota Corolla has the distinction of being the best-selling car of all time worldwide. You might have had one in your family. The Corolla family is made up of the sedan, hatchback, and hybrid model. The Corolla sedan is sold with 2 different engines, a base 1.8-liter unit with 139 horsepower or an optional larger 2-liter 4-cylinder with 169 horsepower. The Corolla sedan can be equipped with a 6-speed manual or a continuously variable transmissions with both engines. The hatchback joined the Corolla family just a few years ago, and it's sold with just the larger 168 horsepower engine, but it too can be equipped with a manual or a CVT. Both the gasoline sedan and hatchback can be ordered with several different trims depending on the buyer's taste and budget. The Toyota Corolla Sedan Hybrid is simplified. It's sold as a standard package or with a premium package for just $2,000 more. It uses a 1.8-liter 4-cylinder matched with Toyota's hybrid Synergy drive system and produces 121 horsepower, but it has very good low-end torque, making it a wonderful yet efficient car, using just 4.5 liters combined city and highway. The Corolla family comes standard with Toyota Safety Sense 2.0, which includes pre-collision system with pedestrian detection, auto high beam with lane departure alert with steering wheel assist and road edge detection, to name a few. So that's the Corolla family.
I guess I didn't know what I was expecting, but we're here bright and early, and it doesn't happen here every day, I can tell you that much. We've got a nice bright blue one, a red one, and then the hybrid, which looks like a ton of fun. And I think we're just going to have a lot of fun. I mean, what more can you say? There's 3 brand new vehicles out there, and we get to be the ones to put them through their paces. Now, this trusty Ford Focus hatchback has served us well for years, but now we've got a new house, new baby. We need a new car, and I would love to help you guys test drive the new lineup of Corollas. I think they could be a great fit for our young family. What do you say?
Get ready for Motoring 88.
I have watched Motoring TV for a long time. I know you guys have been on the air for longer than I've been alive. It's just a great thing to pop on if you're interested in cars. And so when I heard that they were looking for people that could help test some vehicles, I was all over it. We've got a new family of Corollas out there, and we're pretty happy to get to be the ones to help you guys out.
It's really exciting to have the opportunity to check out some cars. Like, we have a newborn and we're new parents, so we are looking for a family car. So looking for a car that can accommodate everything that we need now.
Okay, so you're driving the sedan, the XSE that has the 2-liter 4-cylinder engine in it. Your first impressions of the inside of the Corolla, all 3 of the cars you're going to drive today have a similar interior. What do you think of it, first of all?
It's really nice. I'm surprised with how much space there is in here, and I really do like the layout of the dash. You see these touch screens everywhere. I'd like to have a little bit of buttons, and you do have that on the side. You've got the volume knob. I really like this dash. I'm a boat guy. It kind of reminds me of a boat dash, the way it kind of flows right across. So I'm pretty impressed, and the seat's nice and comfy. I think you can commute pretty well in a ride like this.
The seat's comfortable, and there's like tons of leg room, which is like really great with a newborn car seat that really pushes the passenger seat up high far.
When you graduate out of that little clip-in car seat to a rear-facing car seat, they actually take quite a bit of space. People don't realize that.
So what you guys are doing with getting like normal people and like people to test out the cars, I think is really great, because I think like personal referrals are so important when you're trying out any products, more so than like having an expert's opinion. It's such a big decision. I just hope that we can help people make that decision.
So are you leaning towards, like, I mean, you got a hatchback now. Are you sedan or hatchback, or does it really matter to you?
I'm definitely a hatchback guy, so I'm excited to get behind the wheel of the hatchback. But you know, once you start having a family, there's more to it than just kind of what you like or what looks cool or what's fun to drive. You really need to make sure that you're checking the right boxes. So
The sedans have a lot of trunk space, so I feel like that's really important for all the stuff that comes with a baby.
yeah, it's not just the baby, it's not just the car seat, there's the stroller or pack and play, all this kind of stuff that we need to throw in the trunk. So I think that's certainly something that we're looking for is I guess practicality.
I guess first and foremost, like with having the baby, I would probably put safety first, like making sure that we're in a car that has a good safety rating. For the baby would be my top priority, and then after that, like definitely comfort with the long commute, and we drive a lot, so that comfort's definitely important.
Toyota has what's called Toyota Safety Sense, and these cars are equipped with what's called Toyota Safety Sense 2.0. In the case of the sedans, they have additional what's called pedestrian bicycle detection. So if you had like a kid ride their bike out in front of you, the car will automatically put on the brakes for you. So it's an extra layer of safety. So you had forward collision warning, autonomous braking, but you have bicycle and pedestrian detection. Pretty cool, right?
That's awesome. We live in a pretty residential neighborhood. There's tons of kids biking around all over the place, and you know, if you've got a screaming baby in the back, it's nice that somebody else is helping you look out for any hazards like that on the road. You know, as a young guy that was recently in his 20-somethings, safety is not something that I always considered. It wasn't always top of mind, but now our family just got a little bit bigger. We've got a lot more on the line. We've got a lot more to worry about, and safety definitely has to be our top priority when we're looking for a car right now.
What do you want to drive next? What's the baby want to drive next?
It sounds like she's got a better opinion than we do on this. Like I said, I've been itching to get behind the wheel of that hatchback, but I think that in terms of why buys, you know, if we're looking at fuel economy, the hybrid might be something that we're in the market for.
We'll get you into the hatchback, and then we'll see what you like about each one.
Excellent. Ooh, you know that feeling when you first sit down into the driver's seat of a Lamborghini? Well, me neither, but I can imagine this feels a lot like that. For the last 2 seasons, I've been the host of Powerboat Television, which is a boating show. It's a little bit like motoring TV. There's a little bit of cars involved. We're constantly towing with trucks. It's been a blast. I'm sure, like you guys at Motoring TV, it doesn't often feel like work, and that's kind of the way you want it to be.
All right, so the difference between the hatchback and the red car, the sedan you drove earlier, that uses a larger 2-liter 4-cylinder.
Yep.
Pretty basic stuff, right? So this uses a slightly smaller 4-cylinder engine, but the power is made up with an electric motor. So you have what's called a hybrid system. So it uses the gasoline engine and the electric motor to make up the power. So Magda, I want you to put your foot into it and then feel the way that you accelerate. It's quite satisfying with that car, because the one thing about cars with electrification is they have that instantaneous torque from the electric motor, and that's what you're feeling with that car.
Yeah, it definitely has you can like feel it when it starts up. It feels good.
Now, the way this works and how it becomes so efficient is that the gasoline engine is switching off as many times as possible in especially stop and go city driving, or sometimes even cruising along at steady speeds. You're just using that little bit of electricity to keep you rolling down, but you're able to turn the gas engine off, and that's how that car is so efficient. So it's amazing technology.
It definitely is like much quieter, and yeah, it feels really smooth. I really like it.
Yeah, it's a really satisfying experience, because you're not giving anything up except big gas bills.
I do love driving. Like a lot of people, I think that once I turned 16, you know, you get behind the wheel and you kind of never get out from under it. So I've always loved cars. You know, there's no better people to test drive these cars than the people that are actually going to be driving the cars. People like us. I wouldn't think about the cool factor in a hybrid too much. It's not immediately what jumps to mind, but I'm pretty impressed with the interior of this thing. I really like this light leather trim package in here. It really is quite nice, and when you have a kid spilling juice or crumbs in the back seat, the leather's a nice asset to have, and you can just kind of wipe it down and clean up easily.
I have a surprise for you. That is not leather. That is what is called soft text.
You're kidding.
Yep, Toyota developed that. It feels like leather, it looks like leather, but you can just wipe it down. It's great for kids spilling their juice boxes and great for dogs in the back seat. It's actually, you know, for your stage in life, it really is the way to go.
Nora, did you hear that? You can go ahead and spit up on the back seat if you want to.
And I think we're done. Now we move to the hatchback. So Drew, it could be argued you're in the most stylish of the Corollas, the hatchback. It certainly looks fantastic in blue, right?
Yeah, I've always been a hatchback guy. I like the look. I like the kind of sportier feel, the functionality, maybe get a little more room in the back. I just think they're cool looking cars, and this is definitely cool, especially in this blue color.
We have a hatchback, so we definitely like it. There's a lot of room in the back, and especially with city driving, it's really easy to zip around in a hatchback. So I really like it.
What I like about the sedan, you do get a little more trunk depth, but the thing is you don't get the height like you do in the hatchback. So if we're putting a stroller in there, it's nice to be able to stack both pieces of it on top of each other and really feel like you're, you know, making good use of the space.
So what was your perception of the Toyota Corolla family before you had a chance to drive these cars? And how has it changed now that you have driven these cars?
For me, Toyota's always kind of represented reliability, but maybe not as much style until a few years ago when they kind of redid this line. And now, I mean, they're kind of cool cars, to be honest. I don't think it's like your grandpa's Corolla anymore. Like this is a fun car to drive, and it's a fun car to sit in too.
Okay, so I'm gonna kind of put you on the spot a little bit. You've driven the sedan, the classic Corolla sedan. You've driven the new technology, the hybrid, and now you're in the sporty looking hatchback. If I was to ask you very quickly right away, which one do you think you like the best? What would you say? Drew, you go first.
I know what you mean with the hybrid. It's nice to have that gas mileage, especially if you're driving down to the city a lot, but I really do like the look of the hatch and the feel of it. I don't know, Zach, I'll have to get back to you.
Out of the three cars, I think I like the hybrid the best. Just with commuting so much, it's really great to have that good gas mileage, especially if you're driving, if I'm driving back and forth from the city. So I feel like the hybrid is my favorite.
Still to come, we're gonna find out which Corolla Drew chose. What's it gonna be? Well, Drew, it's been a real pleasure having you, Magda, and of course little baby Nora on the show. We have to be quiet because she's having a nap right now. But we want to kind of get your thoughts on these Corollas. You test drive boats for a living, you're doing cars. So which one do you think is going to be? The sedan, the hatchback, or the hybrid?
I love the style of the hatchback, but I think it's time to get realistic. We got to save our gas money. Magda's going to be driving a lot when she's done mat leave. So we're gonna go with the hybrid.
All right, I think that's a great choice, especially living here in Barrie and commuting back and forth. So there you go, thanks for watching. And Drew, because you're the guest, you get to do the honors, close out the show.
Join us next time for more stories about cars and the people who drive them, like me.